Vatic just dropped two 100% foam core paddles with the VSole Pro and the VSole Power, both being $99 after discount code Pursuit. Let's see how these paddles stack up with some of the best paddles on the market. Now, both of these paddles will be 100% foam cores. This Pro model will be a floating EPP core, similar to what we've seen with the Boomstick as well as the Loco, except this isn't going to have quite as much firepower. It's going to have that similar feel as well as the more hollow sound from what we've seen with these paddles. The Power model is going to be a fully EPP core with cavities that don't go all the way through the core, but it's going to have a softer, more dense feel compared to the Pro model. But don't get it twisted, both of these paddles are definitely power paddles. Now, in terms of controllability, these paddles are pretty good. They're not going to be super challenging. However, the Power model is going to be a little bit less linear, so it will take a little more time to dial in your control-oriented shots like resets, drops, and dinks. It's nothing that you should be worried about, but just know it'll take a couple extra sessions to get used to. Now, in terms of sweet spot, forgiveness, spin, these paddles do really well. They're just not going to top the charts in any of those performance characteristics. They're going to be really, really good, but they're going to fall short of the elite paddles like the NF, the Boomstick, as well as the Loco. Now, as stated before, the feel is going to be the main difference between these two paddles. The Pro model is going to feel very similar to the Rhombus Quanta or the Bread and Butter Loco. It's going to have a less tingy feel compared to the Quanta, and it's going to feel not quite as powerful and crisp as the Loco because there is no fiberglass layer. The Power model is going to be softer, denser, and a little bit more dwelly feeling compared to the Pro model. However, don't let that fool you. Again, like I said, this paddle really packs a punch, especially on dries, serves, and putaways. Now, in terms of firepower, these paddles are going to be in a good spot. The VSole Pro is going to be very similar and in line with the firepower of the J2NF, but the Power is just going to give you that little bit extra firepower. Now, all the shapes that I received, the VSole Pro paddles were lighter in terms of swing weight as well as twist weight, and the Powers were a little bit heavier. Now, these flash shapes of all the shapes that I received are going to be the most benefited from perimeter weight to increase their stability as well as twist weight. Now, between these two paddles, I preferred the Pro model just because it had a crisper feel and a little bit more feedback compared to the Power model. Now, they both perform very similarly. There is a difference in feel that is noticeable. However, I just felt like this was a little bit more consistent of a paddle, whereas the Power model was a little bit more challenging and made me think a little bit more when playing with it. Now, if you're trying to decide between the VSoles and the Quantas, I prefer the VSoles. Now, they all perform really similarly. However, the VSoles have better feel, and I just liked playing with them a little bit more because they don't have a tingier feel. More importantly, they have a slightly better sweet spot, and they're just more stable paddles out the box, so you don't need to add a ton of weight to them. However, if you're someone who likes to tinker with their paddles or prefers lightweight paddles, the Quantas is a great option. Both of these paddles, you really can't go wrong for $99. Now, these VSole paddles are really good paddles. They're not elite tier, but they're close enough to where at $99 after promo code Pursuit, they really are an easy option to recommend for anyone who wants a budget-friendly power paddle. Remember, these paddles are $99, and using code Pursuit does help support this channel and is greatly appreciated, which gives me more ability to make these videos. Hope you enjoyed this review. Until the next one, I'm Lewis with Pickleball Pursuit, and I'll see you guys soon.